What's up, you guys? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young, live and in the flesh. Today, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% conscious, debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And how I do this is I expose the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet people continue to do them. Even knowing math and money are one, people still, for some reason, don't trust math and keep financing things that go down in value. Believe that credit is the way to become rich or wealthy, or show that you have money because you have good credit. And when all they have to do is just, do the math, and none of it will make any sense as far as a consumer wise. Business wise, it makes total sense. But as a consumer, it makes no mathematical sense. So that's the better way to put it. Business wise, when it comes to credit, it makes total mathematical sense. But when you're at the consumer side of credit, it makes absolutely no mathematical sense whatsoever, right? But people continue to do them. Hey, good morning, Willie. Good morning. So today's show is what is the most difficult thing to tackle when trying to get out of debt? I'm gonna need your help with this, you guys, because morning, Jennifer, because I'm in the process of designing a course. Okay. And the course will be, of course, you have to pay for the course, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm in the process of designing a course tackling the most difficult things for people to do when it's time to get out of debt. But I need to hear that from you guys. To you guys, to me, it can mean one thing, but to you, it can mean a totally different, because I had to realize that I see from a different perspective now that I'm out of debt. In my mind, I can clearly see the big things that are causing it, but I have to remember, going back into the debt matrix, I didn't know this crazy, because I have to remember from the debt matrix perspective. It's weird because I didn't know that I was in debt. No, I believe debt was normal. Excuse me. Let me take that back. I did know I was in debt, but I thought debt was just a normal part of life, and it's not. All right. So take myself, for example. I'm trying to put myself back into the debt matrix. What did I think that was difficult for me to get out of debt? Well, first, I had to realize I was in debt. That's number one. So I can't look for, well, I guess let me go back. What did I believe that was the cause of me being in debt back then when I was in the debt matrix? Okay. This is me going back into the debt matrix, believing what was the cause of why I could not get ahead. I used to blame, first I used to think it was education. I had to get higher education to learn more in order to earn more, right? And now I understand none of that is true, right? That's not true. Because when I think about it mathematically, you mean go into debt $30,000-$40,000 so I can get a higher paying job? That makes absolutely no sense. Whatever raise I got, it was already going to student loans mathematically. So that's not the answer. But I thought it was back then. What else did I think? I thought it was the city I lived in, right? I thought, if you watch the news and everything, I'm from Seattle, Washington. And when I think back, when you watch the news, they always say how prices are high in Seattle. And totally forgetting about, they were just talking about the average, the average this, the average that. Now that I'm out of the debt matrix, I realize the average is made up of millions of people making the same financial decisions as one. Now I'm no longer part of the average. I used to think taxes in Seattle. I used to think housing prices. What else did I used to think that was keeping me from becoming a millionaire? What else did I used to think? Traffic, the the prices of tags on a car, uh, basically taxes. I used to think taxes were the reason that was keeping me down. That's the craziest thing, right? And then you start to naturally start to, just like almost like a herd, like a sheeple, right? You'll see saying, hey, let me go to another place because taxes are lower. You just think, and then you believe that's how you're going to survive. It's just the craziest thing to think about on the outside looking in. But that's what I thought. I'm like, man, I got to move someplace where it's cheaper in taxes. Never stopping to once to think, wait a minute, who's telling me that it's expensive here to live in Seattle? I didn't know to ask that question. I didn't know to say, hey, that's not in the person's mind to say, hey, wait a minute, who's telling me that it's expensive to live in Seattle? Somebody that's in debt or somebody that's not in debt? But when I was in debt, I didn't know to ask that question. So I was making six figures. What was I thinking that was keeping me down? What did I think back then? I'm really trying hard to think about what it was that I thought the very thing that was keeping me in the same place, living paycheck to paycheck. I guess I was thinking my job wasn't paying me enough. What else? I already said taxes. Sometimes I would think, oh man, if I could get my credit card company to lower my interest rate on my credit cards, that would help me out. It's just crazy what I was thinking about. What's up, Silent Rage? It's crazy to think back and think about all the things. So I guess my main one, because I kept my student loan for 10 years, I didn't really look at student loan debt as a debt. I remember just listening to everybody and everybody saying, hey, don't worry about it. Everybody has student loans and this is just a way of life. I remember that, it's just crazy. But I didn't realize that only people in student loan debt say that. Think about it. Only people in student loan debt would ever say everybody's in student loan debt. It's almost just obvious to me today, right? It's like, because somebody not in student loan debt wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say, hey, everybody's in student loan debt. You know why they wouldn't say it? Because they're not in student loan debt. That's the very reason, right? And that pretty much goes for everything, right? But I need you guys' help. There I go again, coming out of the debt matrix and then back in and make it look so freaking obvious, right? It's just, I'm reflecting on myself. But anyway, this is about you. I need to create a program to find out from you guys, what are the most difficult things when it comes to getting out of debt? What are those things? What are these things that I can help solve for you? Because everybody has their own, right? And when you're in the debt matrix, it's really bigger than what you believe it is, right? But I need to come to you, not start at the level I choose, but to start at the level that where you guys need to start from. What everybody has something in their life that just seems big and huge, and it's the biggest burden, and they just need a plan on that. So if I can get some input from you guys. What's up, Love C Shorty? What's up? Long time no see. Get that super chat going. Yeah, I got to get on that, man. I haven't really thought about that, man. I honestly, Love C Shorty, I'm really thinking so much bigger than that. It's really on like the bottom of my list. You know what I'm saying? Not saying there's nothing wrong with super chat and everything, but when you go to the big boys, I mean, do this. Go to the big boys on YouTube. See if you see their super chat up. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go check it out. Go to the big money maker YouTube channels. And when they go on live, see if they have their super chat up. Because I rarely see super chat when it comes to the big boys. Not making a correlation from one to the other, but I'm just pointing out something. Okay. See, Willie says, mine was getting old debt off my credit report. Okay. Okay. That was a very difficult to face. And this can, and I want you guys to understand this is also psychological. Okay. I don't want you thinking I'm asking what's the difficult thing and it has to be a physical thing. Maybe you're just scared to look at your debt. Maybe you have no idea what you're looking at, even if you saw it. I mean, these are things I need to hear from you. This is the programs I'm going to create for you. So you come in, click and say, hey, man, I need the answer to that, because it will always be from a mathematical standpoint, which everything I teach in here will be 100% true because it will be justified with mathematics. So you might, you'll come in and you'll have the answer. I promise you'll have the answer because you'll see it mathematically. But the hard part is this: you have to believe the mathematics. So Willie says people give up and think that it is not possible to get out of debt. They see everyone around them on the same boat and accept it as the norm. That is very true. That is very true, Willie. But those people, let me see how I can put this. There's some people out there that really do believe that there's no way out of debt, right? So they're not listening to accepting that there is a way out of debt. So once they must first believe that it is possible. Because believe me, Willie, there's people walking around in the debt matrix, knowing something's wrong, cannot figure out why they're still living paycheck to paycheck. They just can't put their finger on it because there's nobody around them to tell them the answer. But for me to find them, I need to know what they believe in their mind to be the very difficult. What is the very thing that they believe that's keeping them in debt? Could it be scared of just knowing how much debt you are, never believing you get out of student loan debt? I need to know those. I need to calculate those. Willie said difficult because I don't want to pay it. Okay. All right. These are good, honest answers. Some people would tell me not to pay. I'll go away. It'll go away eventually. No. And these are good, very good responses. Okay. These are very good responses. And I'm going to give you some very simple responses back, Willie. Okay. And these things are just going to make sense because this is what it is. It says people give up and they see everyone around them in the same boat. People that are in debt don't realize that when you hear a person say everyone, that's like a dead giveaway. Everyone's in debt. If you hear somebody says everyone's in debt, if a person can just stop and think and say, wait a minute, everyone means everybody in the United States. Right there, that's not true. Okay. When they say everyone, in their mind, it's everyone in their world. But in the bigger picture, if they're saying everyone outside of them, they're talking about everybody in the United States. That's everyone, right? Right there, it's not true because there are rich people. So rich people are not in the same boat as people in debt. See what I'm saying? Right there. And it's like, here's another one, Willie. Difficult because I didn't want to pay it, right? That's a good, honest answer. Good, honest answer. But check this out. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's already gone. You have to pay it. How you feel about that is irrelevant. Only people in debt put their feelings with their money, with mathematics. You have to change your mindset and say, hey, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. I must pay this debt. I did it. I spent it. I have to pay it back. Some people would tell me not to pay it and it'll go away. And see, I'm going to tell you another thing. Listen how simple I'm going to say this. Only people in debt would ever tell you that. Only people in debt would tell you not to pay your debt, believing that it'll go away. No, it won't. It's never going away. That's a myth. That's not true. That's a feeling. That's what people in debt hope and feel that happens. That'll never happen. You see what I'm saying? Remember, only people in debt would tell you it's okay to be in debt. Only people in debt will tell you don't pay your debts back. Only people in debt say keep running from your debts. Only people in debt say things like that. And that's why I'm asking you guys these, because I'm going to design a course different, unlike any others, because I want you guys to really see how this works. And remember, all of my courses will be correct, because all the time the math will be correct. Okay. Jennifer says, mine was switching up my entire lifestyle, not eating out, not purchasing wants, being super generous without thinking twice about it, staying super focused. Yeah, I like these psychological things too, right? and I love these. Thank you for you guys' responses, because this is what I need to create such a different course. This will be a very different course. It's like when you're outside the debt matrix and you see a person, and that's many people like that, Jennifer. Don't feel it's just you. People in the debt matrix don't understand. They all think the same way. They all believe that their entire lifestyle is going to change. It's not going to, no eating out anymore. They believe it's going to be forever. They don't understand it's very temporary. Just 5 hard years and you can do everything you want to do, and you can eat out as much as you want. You can purchase your wants. You can be generous without thinking twice about it. You can do all that. You know why? Because you'll have real money. People in the debt matrix don't understand that that's just temporary. You're going to do it it counts on how much debt you're in, but do it for a good solid 5 years. You have the rest of your life to live the way you want to live. So these are good responses. I love it. I want you guys to pay attention to a lot of the psychological part behind it, to what you're saying. You know, these are things that people believe. You know, like what Willie says, some people tell her not to pay. It's just crazy to hear such things. It's like, if you do that, you'll be a slave forever. You'll be in debt forever if you do what that person says. And I really want you guys to understand that if anybody ever tells you not to pay for your debt, it'll go away, it'll drop off, I want you to understand something. They are crystal clear telling you that they are in debt. They're telling you to your face, hey, by me telling you this information, I'm letting you know that I'm in debt. That's what they're saying. And they don't even know it. And they're asking you to be part of that debt matrix by doing the same as them. They're only telling you things that they're doing themselves. Willie says, I became debt free, packing lunches. All extra income went towards my debt. Sacrifice is the key. The reward comes after. Sure does, man. So these are good responses. I like this. And I like being able to. Now, this is what I want. If you guys can help me out with this. When I respond, I need you to tell me if you do or do not understand my response. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we see Willie, what she did here, pack her lunches and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people won't do that because they want to keep impressing the people around them to pretend that they're not broke, right? But people in the debt matrix don't know that they're all doing the same thing. It's a bunch of broke people trying to impress broke people by keep going deeper and deeper in debt. So if you switch up and try to do things to try to get out of debt, pack your lunches and reduce your car down and stuff like this to sacrifice for a short while, I believe people don't do it because they believe the people in the debt matrix will believe they are broke if they show it. You see how the psychological thing works? What's up, Mazda 5? Happy says, when you get out of debt, you will be naturally programmed to not want to eat out. You'll understand how much of a money pit it is, and you'll refuse to go back into habits that breed debt. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll still go out, but you won't do it as much as you did before, because Hyphy's right, man. If you see how much money really goes into eating out, but then again, Hyphy, they can order in now. You see what I'm saying? It's just, we can see how bad it's gotten, but you, just like Hyphy said, when you get out of debt, you just naturally don't do those things anymore. It's not like you're even trying not to do it, right? It's just a natural thing. It's just a natural thing. Nothing will make you accidentally go back into debt. There's nothing on the earth that will make you go back into debt in your control. Okay. There's nothing on earth that would ever do that. So, but again, I need you guys' help when I respond to these questions, because I really need to know if you understand my answer. That's going to help me make sure I'm saying it right. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, go back to this one, Willie, where Willie says difficult because I didn't want to pay. I want you guys to understand how many people are saying this to themselves every day in the debt matrix. I don't want to pay it. I mean, looking at student loans, be like, I don't want to pay it. Now, I was going to make a course that was going to tackle student loans, but I had to really think about that when I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to start on something that the majority of people believe consciously and unconsciously that they will never pay this back. I didn't want to start there, because the majority of people already just don't believe they'll pay it back. How do I know this? You can see this. You can see it. It's clear that people in student loan debt just don't want to pay that back. Maybe don't think they'll ever make enough in their money. I don't know, but I could not start there. I want to keep it simple. One of the ideas I had was to show people how to get out of like cell phone debt. All right. Teach people how to get the exact same service for the quarter of the price. Right. Teach them how to do it. What's up, Papa T's Plates? Teach them how, because in my mind, I know exactly how to get somebody out of cell phone debt. And when I say cell phone debt, I'm talking to you people out there that have 3, 4, 5 phones on the plan, all financed, iPhone 11s, Note 10s, insurance on it, cases that some of you probably don't even want to look at. This is like let me give you an example. This is what they've done. Okay. This is what the phone company's done that people in debt can't see. They eliminate the contract, right? It's like, so people stop thinking, oh my God, this people in debt thing. Oh, I don't have a contract anymore. Phone companies don't do that anymore, blah, blah, blah. Right. Well, yeah, sort of, kind of, right? They'll get you to finance all 5 brand new phones on one plan. And seeing that phones run between $1,000 and $1,200 nowadays, that's almost like that's over $5,000 in debt to the phone company. It doesn't matter if you have a contract or not. You ain't going anywhere. Teach people how not to do that. And that's just one of my ideas. Maybe people will, maybe people won't. I don't understand. But a lot of people, like when you get your traditional cell phone bill, you see all those taxes on that bill. If you even look at the bill, all those taxes on the bill, those days been over for years. Many people don't even know that. You'll never know that if you financing phones. You can never know that because you don't own your phone. So you can't do what I'm telling you to do. Willie says, when I say don't want to pay, it was on my report for 5 years. Then I was told it'll fall off 2 more years. So don't worry about it. Yeah. I know you know what, Willie, I know exactly what you're saying. Okay. Cause I remember when I was in debt, people used to tell me that all the time. Don't worry about it. Don't touch it. Don't inquire about it. After 7 years, it'll fall off. But what people in debt don't understand is, During that time that it's on, you're paying the highest interest rate on borrowed money because only people in debt borrow money. So while a person is waiting for that to fall off, they're paying all the highest interest rates with everything they finance, everything. And then they really believe it just falls off. No, you got to inquire about it. You got to go in there and say, hey, this is 7 years old. Can you please remove that? But do you think people in debt even look at their credit report? No. You guys hear how obvious I'm making this sound? It's so obvious. It's so obvious. So while they're just not looking and waiting for it to fall off, like only people in debt say those things. Only a person in debt would tell another person to wait till it falls off. Only a person in debt would tell another person that in debt. Because if they tell a person like me, I would turn to him and say, why would I do that? That makes absolutely no mathematical sense for me to do that. Why would I do that? And the person telling me they wouldn't have an answer because I'd be right. It doesn't make mathematical sense. Papa T says, phone companies are snakes. No, they're not snakes. They're not snakes. That's a feeling, and part of this channel is to help people remove their feelings from money. This is why they're not snakes, Papa T's. If I walked into a cell phone company and they told me how much it would cost to finance a phone, I would say, no, thank you. That makes no mathematical sense. And I would just leave the store. They couldn't trick me. They can't trick me. How much do you want me for financing that phone? Oh my God, that'll be double the price of the phone. No, thank you. And then I'll walk out the store. They didn't fool me. They're not snakes. They're not doing anything that's invisible. Life for Businesses. Hey and family, I love new phones, but I buy them straight cash now. The last phone I financed, they actually wanted the phone back. So I just buy straight out now. Have you noticed that? They get people to get locked into the cycle. It's so crazy, man. It's just like a working piece of art, man. It's just crazy to get them wrapped in this loop of getting new phones, make them high priced to where they'll never be able to afford to pay cash for them. And then just before the new one come out, they say, hey man, trade in your old phone. We'll give you credit for a new phone. Just locking them in year after year. It's like a Picasso financial painting. You could walk straight up to a person in debt, be like, they'll just tell you straight to your face, nah, man, I got to have the new phone every single year. I'd be like, damn. When I hear a person say something, when I hear them say that, I'd be like, God damn, you are a slave to the end. A slave. I just want to tell a person, you are a slave to your cell phone. You are getting up, going to work, driving and dealing with that traffic, looking at people pissed because you got to pay tolls and tickets off of that cell phone in your hand. Oh my God. Mazda 5 is great, says, a friend just told me he did that yesterday, $167 a month for two Samsung S10, 18 Samsung 18-month mobile, 18 months, T-Mobile service, $35 each. Oh my God, it's just, $167 a month for some cell phones. I have to design, I'm telling you guys, whatever and I need your help. I need you guys to tell me what's the most difficult you believe. What is the most difficult thing preventing you from getting out of debt? What do you believe is holding you up? I need you guys to get out of that nightmare. That's the cell phone game. I want you guys to, outside the debt matrix, I'm gonna show you guys something outside the debt matrix. Look how many people are getting in the cell phone game. Comcast is gotten in the cell phone game. They know how profitable that is. Can you imagine getting a cell phone via Comcast? Now you're locked in with Comcast and their cable, and you're locked in with them, and you can't get out until you pay that cell phone off. They said, we're getting in this game. We're getting in there. Besides packing lunches, all my commission earnings went to debt. Oh, did I read that already? All of it didn't sales and splurge. I think I already read that. Am I way? Where am I at? Okay. C. Avery says, I get prepaid cell phone plans, so you got to buy your own phone. Yes. Yeah, you got to buy your own phone. Willie says, I paid a really high rate for my car because of bad choices. Yeah. You know, Willie, once you're out of the debt matrix, you really understand, and the car's a big one. That might be one of the on the top of the list here, but financing a car is one of the worst things to ever do in your whole financial life. That is one of that's almost up there with houses, but a car, man. I didn't know by financing a car, I was financing the taxes too over 60 months, 72 months. I didn't know I was doing that. It's just when I think about that, man, it's just, oh my God, I finance a lot of cars, man. Little did I know the financial statement I was making to people that understood money every time I financed a car. You can't, when you understand money, you can't respect anybody sitting in a car lot for 8 hours to buy one car, sitting on a car lot to buy 8 hours to buy one car while they're searching and searching and searching to find finance for you. It's just, you're just like, man, that you look at a person like that and you just know they don't know. They're sitting wasting the most valuable thing on earth, their time, inside of a car lot, a car dealership, crossing their fingers to tie themselves to a depreciating object for the next 72 months. That is one of the worst things to ever do in life, man. That one's see, starting that program right there, I couldn't. That's too high for people in debt. That's something well beyond. That's a whole nother level. If you thought helping people get out of student loan debt was hard, try to convince them that financing a car is bad. Oh man, trying to convince millions of people the only way in their mind to get a car is to finance it, and now you're trying to tell them no, that's wrong. Good luck with that one, man. That one's a tough one right there. Even if I told them, hey, every time you finance a car, you're financing taxes too, they will have not a clue to what I was talking about. R. Carp says, even if a unpaid debt falls off your credit in 7 years, the creditor who you owe can still come after you to get their money. Yeah. People in debt don't know that. It's just, that's why I need to, honestly, this has to happen. This is going to happen, people. This is going to happen. It's going to be paid for classes. That way, the serious people they'll be like, hey, I need to get the hell out of the debt matrix, and I'm going to have to pay for it. Yes. This is the place where I'm going to put the answers. I'm going to say, hey, you come here and do this. You'll be free. That's all you got to do. It. Come back as many times as you wish, as long as you paid up on your subscription. You come back as many times as you wish, because this information I'm gonna have on this site is gonna be always valid. It will always be valid, no matter the year, no matter the decade. It will always be valid because it'll be justified with mathematics. Everything. Papa T says, I understand now. It's just business. You're right. When you get in there, you can be like, hey, because when you get out of the debt matrix and you start your own business, you'll see how it works. This is how it works. The businesses are not doing anything to anybody. All you got to do is just stop, run the mathematics, open up your calculator, do the math, say, oh man, if I finance that, I'll be paying double for that. I guess I better not do that. But if you choose not to do it, you just choose not to do it. My ideas, as I'm talking to you guys, my ideas are coming to me right now as we speak. I'm going to just, you know what? I'm going to be just straight up with you. I'm going to have webinars to say, this is how you get out of a cell phone plan. This is how you get out of student loan debt. It doesn't matter what it is. This is how you get out of car loan debt. If you're upside down in the car, you do this. This is why. Whatever. This is going to be separate webinars, videos, whatever it's going to how it's going to be built. I already know how it's going to be built. So when people come to this website, which will they will pay, this is what you're going to have to pay to see this. Mazda 5 says, how do we reapply logical thinking over feelings with debt and matrix? This is how to do it. Never mix your feelings with mathematics. Think about it this way. Do the math on whatever you're thinking about. Do the math. Math doesn't care how you feel about the answer. 5 plus 5 is always going to equal 10. Try to do this to yourself. Say, hey, man, if I feel bad today, will 5 plus 5 equaling 10 change? What if I'm happy, really happy that day, and I feel like just really upbeat? Does 5 plus 5 equaling 10 change? That's how you got to think about it. Then you got to think, wait a minute, how I feel about 5 plus 5 equaling 10 is irrelevant. That's exactly how you should feel about your money always. And then when you're done tackling your own feelings about your money, you're going to then turn to, then you're going to turn to people, how other people feel about your money. That's a whole different subject right there. How they feel about your money. You got to just stop that. Hey, man, you're going to come to so-and-so's birthday party and this and that. Nah, man, I ain't got no money to buy no gift. Oh, man, that ain't no thing. And this, and then they start telling you about their money. That doesn't matter how they feel. If you have no money, you have no money. Say, sure, I'll come, but I ain't buying no gift. Why not? I have no money. Ivy says, if phone companies are snakes, then doctors are snakes, chefs are snakes, psychologists are snakes. All of these are professionals, operate for profit. Don't ever forget that. Business is business. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's fooling anybody. If you get out of the debt matrix, you'll see how it all works. I mean, okay. I'm gonna make one really, really obvious for you, okay, that everybody can see how business works. All right. Next time you see a medicine commercial comes on TV, I want you to mute it. Mute the television commercial when you see one of 15,000 medicine commercials that are on TV now, right? Every time one comes on, I want you to mute it. And then I want you to figure out which medicine they're trying to sell you and for what. If you can't figure it out, I want you to stop. And then after a while, I want you to stop trying to figure it out. Then I want you to look at it a different way. What are they doing to sell me this medicine right now? What are they doing? I want you to, and while it's still on mute, I want you to watch the commercial play. And then I want you to think to yourself, what are they doing at this very moment to try to sell this medicine to me? That's what you'll do when it's time for you to open your business. You'll do the same thing they're doing. That's how you figure it out. You don't need to go some big some big freaking company to figure out how to sell. No, you just watch the big boys on TV, watch commercials, but in a different way. Papa T's Place says, I want to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy to start afresh and listen to you. I will be debt free. Do it then. I don't know how much debt you're in total, but I mean, if you got, I put it this way. If you have more debt than you believe you can pay off in 10 years, this doesn't include student loans, IRS debt. That Chapter 7 doesn't get rid of student loan debt. But if you got, say like you had no student loan debt and your debt added up and it'll take 10 years to pay it off, I'd say file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 7, file it. But people in debt, it doesn't matter if people in debt file Chapter 7 because they're just going to do the exact same things that got them there in the first place because they didn't learn anything. The first thing people in debt, if they get a Chapter 7, they don't know how much a blessing is of Chapter 7. A restart, that's a free restart they're giving you right now. Totally forgetting why it's there. Most people in debt believe if you do bankruptcy, you're a financial loser, you're no good with money or whatever. They just think stupid, idiotic things. They don't even realize that's a get out of jail restart free card right there. And even if a person in debt got it, they'll just do the same thing. As soon as they got Chapter 7, what's the first thing they'll do? Oh, I got to get my credit back up. They'll start financing cars and clothes just to say, oh man, okay, let me just get my credit. I need this to get better. And it doesn't matter. But do that. If you think that, do that. Getting organized to get rid of debt. C. Avery says, okay, all right. So this is what I do for my clients. I organize everything. I organize their debt so they can see it, because a lot of people, it's all over the place. And this is what I do for clients one-on-one. But I guess come up with something that you can do the same thing I'm doing. So what I'll do is I'll come up with what I do and put that as one of the webinars. Because since I have to do it anyway, I might as well just show you guys what I do, how I do it, and then you can come up and just do it yourself. You don't even need my help. You can just say, oh, I'll put those numbers there, add up this and this. Okay, so I'm gonna put that together. I'm gonna just put together what I do. It's not even anything fancy. And just so you guys can, how to organize debt, because maybe just some people just want that. They might not necessarily ready to come out of it and, okay, I'm going to do this now, maybe, hey, how do I just organize the nightmare? Okay. Thank you, C. Avery. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep it simple, you guys. Because first thing I think in my mind is, oh man, how complex this is going to be. It's not really going to be that complex. I want you guys to be able to do this yourself. Papa T's Place says, how can I get out the feeling that I can't pay off my debt? That's a good one. I like that, Papa T's. How can I get out of that feeling that I can't pay off debt? All right, so I'm going to tell you something I wish somebody would have told me, Papa T's. If somebody would have came to me and said, Linnell, if you don't get out of your debt, you're going to be a slave until you're dead. A slave to debt until you're dead. It would have made me think, at first I would have thought about slavery and I'm a black man, that's that nonsense, but not that kind of slave. Just a slave to debt. This debt is the colorblind slave master. Don't care what color you are, what race, where you live. It doesn't care. And I would have asked, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do you mean by slave? That if you owe somebody, that means you have to work because you have to pay them. So you can never stop working unless you pay all your debts. If you pay off all your debts, you can stop working. I would have said, whoa, that makes total sense. That makes total sense. Okay. That would help you stop thinking like that, because that's a feeling that the majority of the people in the debt matrix believe. That's why they feel like that. But if they knew the truth, they could feel something that goes a little deeper than how they feel about debt, being a slave until you're dead. That might trump it. To me, that would have trumped it. If somebody would have told me that when I was living in my 20s and 30s in debt, if somebody would have said, hey man, you better stop following those people with car payments. They're driving you right down the wrong financial road, baby. Don't do that. They believe they own those cars while they're making payments. How foolish does that sound? And I would have been like, damn, he's right. That would have changed my feeling, Papa T's. Nicer says, hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you, Nicer. Ify says, ignore the feeling and just accept the fact. I like that. Ignore the feeling and accept the fact. Whether or not you feel you can pay it, you'll pay for it one way or another. Yes. Imagine this, Papa T's. This is what I want you to imagine. Remember those? I always like this analogy. Remember those slave movies where people are running, escaped slave, running through the woods? It's the same year after year, right? All the movies, running through the woods, and the white people with the torches in their hand, with the hound dogs barking. That's you in the debt matrix if you're running from debt. The hound dogs are bill collectors. The hound dogs are the people that you owe. They're coming after you. You just think you can borrow their money and just leave? No, you can't do that. You got to pay. You got to pay it back. That's why they loaned it to you at a percentage rate. And you're just gonna borrow. And the people that tell you to run from your debt or to drop off, they're being hunted every single day. They have to get up. They have to earn this money because they have people they owe. Those hound dogs are forever barking behind their head. That's why they're grinding and chasing money so much, because those hound dogs are barking behind them. But they don't know that. That's debt. People you hear all the time, hey, grind 24 hours a day, never sleep, money, 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 money. You better stop and turn around and see who's saying that to you. That's not true. That is not true. You better start listening a little bit closer. They're saying that because they got debt. They got bills to pay. They're deep in debt. That's why they're grinding all the time. They can pretend, check this out. They can pretend all they want that those student loans don't exist. They can pretend all they want. And guess what? That's exactly what the student loan people want you to do. They want you to completely ignore it. They want you to put it in forbearance. They don't want you to think about it. They want you to make the smallest payments possible. They want you to do that. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. And the most of all, this is the biggest one. The biggest one of all. Once they get you to believe that you'll never pay off that student loan debt, they got you for life. If you believe right now that you'll never pay off your student loan debt, mm, I'm feeling that right now. If you believe in your heart and mind that you'll never pay off your student loan debt, man, those hound dogs are gonna be behind you your whole entire life. Mm, mm, mm. You'll never feel what I'm feeling. Cosmic wisdom, what's going on? Sharif says, grind, 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 grind is a sad way to live life. Sure is. NC Big says, if I owe $21,000 in student loans, but make roughly 50K a year, how fast should pay that off in your opinion? And you know what? It all counts on your situation. But I put it this way, NC Briggs, long as you never forget you're a slave until it's paid off. I mean, if you just keep that in your mind, NC Briggs, as long as I have this student loan debt, I'm a slave. Every time I go to work, this money is not mine. I mean, that's how you got to look at it, because that's what it is. You'll figure out a way how to pay that off real quick. You'll move your pride aside, move in with your mama, share a room with your, whatever. Because people just don't do it because they're so scared. Hey man, this person's 40, 30, 50, living at home with his mom. You better ignore people in debt. You better ignore them. You better not think twice about their opinion or what they say. I totally ignore people who are in debt. I ignore them. I'm not going to talk to somebody that has no idea what they're saying financially. Why? Cosmic Wizard says, getting rid of debt against non-appreciating items is the first step to building wealth. Otherwise, it's dragging you down. Sure better. Got the flu. You get flu shots, NC Biggs. Gabriel says, LJ, I was having an argument with a friend, and I said, if you have $100,000 with student loan debt and all your other debt, or if you make $40,000 a year with no debt, he said the person in debt is okay. Wait a minute. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I see what you're saying. If you have $100 with student loan debt, or if you make 40, you're in debt with no debt. He said the person in debt is better. Yeah. That's just the way people in debt think. That's what they do. That's what they believe. You got to remember, it's a whole different mindset, because Gabriel, he right there, the math didn't even make any sense, but they don't know the math doesn't make sense, nor do they even try to look at it. What other things you guys believe is, you guys are coming up with some good ways. And if you just join the room, I need some help understanding what you believe are the things that are preventing you from getting out of debt, becoming debt free, or even believing debt free is even possible without winning the lottery or winning some big amount of money. You know what I'm saying? What do you believe? What I just need to know the simple things. Do you believe is it your mindset? You're just scared of the debt. You don't want to know how much debt you're in, because that's the first step to actually know down to the penny how much debt you're in. And maybe just some people don't even know how to do that. And I'm gonna create a course for that. Simple steps on just how to add up your total debt, and people just want to do that. Like I said, the most difficult thing when trying to get out of debt is accountability. What role did you play in your debt crisis? Are you a victim or an individual determined to become debt free? Yeah, accountability is a big one. I think, and just like I said a minute ago, Hyphy, I think taking accountability, number one, is to add up all your debt. That'll bring life to you quick, fast. You once you see it and once you see that number, you can never unknow that number. So these are things I'm going to come up with for you guys how to do that, because a lot of people don't even know how to do that. All right. Gabriel says financially, then 40K a year with no debt, bruh. Yeah. Oh, I could live comfortably off of $40,000 a year, no debt. Oh yeah, that's not even hard. That's not even hard. Yeah, I can't remember I haven't done a flu shot in like 10 years, man. I've been stopped doing that nonsense. Once I start seeing them offering flu shots at corner stores, I was like, okay, that's enough. There's a reason why they're doing it that drastically. No, thank you. Sharif says, sad thing is most musicians are in debt too. The recording companies give them an advance they need to pay. They need to pay back even if they stop making music. Yeah. Yeah, again, it's business. It's really business. It really is business. You want to say, ooh, that's mean of the recording companies, but they know. And it's not, and let me tell you this, it's not even that difficult to do. Say like the recording company wanted to sign this person, whatever, right? And they sign them up, and say like part of it is just to check their credit report. If they just check their credit report and see they're deep, deep in debt, they're going to take that advance quick, fast. They're going to take it without even reading the fine print, because they're in debt. So they need that money. So they're just like, oh, I'll worry about it later. I get it. And that's how businesses do. It's not a big deal. If you guys just pay attention, you notice how jobs are starting to require personal to run people's credit reports now. Have you noticed that? That's why they want to know how much debt you're in, because it says a lot about the person. Debt controls people subconsciously and they don't even know it. That's why That's why when I get a hold of an up and coming star, or some kind of, just these people on YouTube that are just just these young stars, I get a hold of the right one, right? They're going to do it and see what I do, and then they're going to take off, and then they're going to share it with their friends. This is how I'm going to help the next generation of millionaires. They just don't know this. Gabriel says society and job title, which neither one means anything. Job title is the biggest joke. That is just the biggest fabricated lie ever that people don't even know. They don't even know. They'll see somebody's a doctor or a lawyer and they'll assume that that person makes money. Yeah, well, maybe they do make money. Doesn't mean they have money. Doesn't matter what they believe, but people in debt believe they associate that, right? I need to, I'm going to create the step by steps on how to start, starting from the basics. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you where to start. And the first one to start is this. This is the very first one. Find out how much debt you're in. That's step one. I mean, when starting the steps, the psychological part is different. First, the person has to realize they are in debt. And by doing this, by adding up their debt, is the first step to saying, dang, I am in debt. Just knowing that, even knowing that and not even doing anything about it is really a step. You know why? Because once you see that number, there is no unseeing that number. And then you're going to walk around and ask 10, 20, 30, 40 of your friends, hey, do you know the exact amount of your debt? And guess what? Not one is going to know. Not one of them. Not one of them is going to know. All of them are going to guess. And then you're going to walk around and then say, "What? How come?" This is the first part of the glitches out of the debt matrix that's going to help you wake up. You're going to walk around and say, "How come I'm the only one that knows my exact amount of debt? That's weird. Why is that?" That is the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, because that's the glitch in the debt matrix. That's just like that's just the beginning of the crack in the second economy, the real economy, the real one. That's how you slowly see the real economy. Wow, that's weird. I'm the only one that knows how much debt I'm in. Mindset and taking action. Yeah, first you gotta know that you're in debt, Papa T's. You got to know your exact amount of debt. So when I ask a person, "Hey, do you know how much debt you're in?" and they guess, I know they're in debt. People in debt don't even know why I asked that question. Hey, do you know how much debt you're in? And then they guess. That's all I need to know. As soon as the person starts guessing, that's all I need to know. Okay, okay. Next question. Because only people in debt don't know how much debt they're in. If somebody asks me, I say zero, zero debt. NC Big says, not feeling like ill. Get ahead even after I'm done with my all my debts. Cosmic Wisdom says, imagine if the money you paid for student loans, credit cards, car loans, and cell phones went to save for a house or investment. Isn't that a loan worth being debt free? It's a life changer. It is. You know what you're describing, Cosmic Wisdom? Phantom income. That is money by not having that, Cosmic Wisdom. That's money in our pocket because the majority of society do that. What we don't do financially that the majority does do is money in our pocket because we're not paying what they're paying. That's why life is cheap. That's why life is really not that expensive for us because we don't spend we don't do what they do. NC Big says exactly that's why I don't do it. I normally get it when I take the shot. When I take the shot, so I'm not interested. Let's see. Gabriel says, I drink the Kool-Aid on savings minus debt. Yeah, you did it at a very good age too, Gabriel, man. You have no idea, man. Like right now, you guys see me on overdrive because I'm 50. Now, don't get me wrong. I thank God every day that I woke up by this age. I started waking up at 40, but I'm fully awake now. All right, I'm fully awake when it comes to this money game, and there is no going back. Um, if I knew this at your age, Gabriel, I'm telling you, I would have been a millionaire, if not a multimillionaire, by age 30. You get out of once you're, and this will be a more advanced course, but once you understand the guaranteed ROI, you know, People in the debt matrix believe that there's no such thing as guaranteed ROI. That's what they believe. There's not in the stock market, not in your retirement, all that stuff. They believe it's no such thing as guaranteed ROI. Yes, there is. I can name a couple. Number one is taxes. That's guaranteed ROI every single year. Guaranteed. Number two, a paid off house. A paid off house. You're probably thinking, how do you know that? That's easy because there's trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt. If I don't have a mortgage, I'm financially ahead of all those people just on that move alone, just that one move. There's trillions of dollars in student loan debt, trillions. If I have a house with no mortgage, I'm financially ahead of all those people just on that one move. Think about how many people walking around here calling themselves homeowners and don't even know it, like zombies. You know how bad I just want to walk up to a person and say, "Hey, man, you know if you have a mortgage, you're not a homeowner. You do know that, right? That's mathematically that you just do the math, you know you're not a homeowner, right?" They'll look at me like I'm crazy. I was listening to this. Somebody sent me some on Instagram today, and it was like this girl. She was up in a like she was up in a radio station or something, right? And this caller called in, and this girl says, now this girl that in this particular radio show, she called herself the credit queen or something like that. Another credit person, right? This person calls in, and she says, "I want to know what should I do? Should I pay off my house first or pay off my student loans first?" This is a caller that called in and said that. Now, look, I'm gonna dissect this for you so you can see what you can't see if you're a person in debt thinking about that same question. Should I pay off my student loans or my house first? First of all, saying that as if there's an option. There's not even an option. Either one doesn't matter. You have to pay something off. They don't even know. And by that question alone also, that also tells me what type of mortgage she has. She definitely doesn't have a prime mortgage. She doesn't. If she has student loans and a house, she doesn't have a prime mortgage. She doesn't. Because if a person has student loan debt and had it for 10, 20 years, you think they're going to pay off a house? They're not going to pay off a house. And the only one that survives all like cockroaches, student loan debt. It survives through any economy crash, anything. El Boogie says people are discouraged because of the amount of time it takes to get out of debt. But the grand scheme of your life, even if you take 5 years to get out of debt, it'll be worth it. You know what? And thank you guys for these responses because I do need them. They are really helping me. I'm going to design my courses. Okay. I remember hearing that all the time. How long it's going to take to pay off? If I decided to pay off whatever debt, it's going to take me so long to pay it off. Right. Just saying that statement implies that you have a choice. Like when I hear, I even said it to myself when I was in debt. Oh man, it's going to take me so long to pay off. I was implying, just saying that statement implies that I have a choice of whether to pay it off or not. No matter how long it takes, time is irrelevant when it comes to debt. Time is 100% irrelevant. I have no choice to pay it off. I'm going to be 30 with debt. I'm going to be 40 with debt. I'm going to be 50. Either way, I'm going to be 40, 50. Up to having debt is a choice at those ages. I can choose not to have debt at 30, 40, 50. I can choose that. If people never forget that if they don't pay that debt off, they're going to be a slave until they're dead. People don't understand that they are a slave. You have to work because you owe somebody. You have to. That's why you're in traffic. That's why you put up with working at a place that you don't want to work at. You hate your job, but you can't stop because the money. It's so obvious the way I say it, right? If you had money in the bank, would you work at a job that you didn't like? Right. That's but since you don't have money in the bank, that's why you're there at a job you hate because you're in debt. Look how the way how obvious I'm making it sound. Duh, you're right. Doesn't it just sound like that? Because that's what it is. That's not calling you stupid if I'm not calling you dumb. If you work at a job you hate, I'm not calling you dumb. I'm just pointing out something why you're working at a job you hate. Because say like you had no debt and 50 grand saved in the bank. You wouldn't work at a job you hate. You would just quit and go work at a place you want to work at. Listen to the way how simple I'm making this sound. That's why I'm loving these suggestions because these are going to help me. Again, these are going to help me. I thank you guys all. Keep them coming. What are the things, if you're just now coming into the channel, what are the things that are preventing you from getting out of debt, via physically money, psychological, believing that you'll never pay it off, you'll be too old, or whatever you're thinking. Maybe it's your partner that you're with that won't even discuss it. It could be a multitude of things, and I need to know all this information. Cosmic Wizard says it's a mental game for sure at NC Briggs. It's those little steps that will add up over time. Yep, they do add up. Cosmic Wisdom says, never feel stupid. You are learning. We all have to start somewhere. Yeah. Never feel stupid. Don't even, man, get that out of your mind. When you compare it to you lady. And see, NC Biggs, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Okay. And I want you to I'm pointing this out right now. You're pointing yourself to the minority. Always point yourself to the majority. The steps you are right now, NC Biggs, just think about the steps you're taking right now, how you're about to be ahead of all of those millions of people that are not taking the steps that you're taking right now. Don't compare yourself to the minority. Don't compare yourself to us that been here. Don't turn around. Always compare yourself to the majority, not the minority. Gabriel says, not only that, LJ, once you're debt free, you control the universe on your own terms and not let society think that you're broke because you're unemployed but have money and that I have to go to college. You know what, Gabriel? Once you get out of debt, you won't care what broke people think or say. You put it this way, you won't even hear them. That's the craziest part about it. I don't hear people in debt. If I'm watching a video and then I hear them start speaking debt on YouTube, I just change it. Because anything after that, if they're saying one thing, that means their whole philosophy of what they believe about debt and stuff is wrong. It's all wrong. Willie says, believe it or not, having insecurities holds a person back as well, or have them thinking they can't accomplish anything. That's true. That is very true. That is very true. And it's, believe it or not, debt does that too. 1 second, you guys. Debt causes that too. It does. It causes that too. When people get in debt, let's put it this way, all right? People in debt have a pattern. Because people in debt do certain things that they just do because they're in debt. They don't know they're in debt, right? People in debt they know they're in debt, but if they choose to believe that debt is just part of life, that's how they'll live, that's how they'll speak, that's what they'll do. They'll do things like that all the time. things. They're just in debt. And again, it's a pattern that they don't know they have, and it's easy to see. And then, man, I'm trying to read and do this two things. I apologize, you guys. I'm trying to do two things at once, and it's making me lose my train of thought. Okay, let me just tell this person I am on live right now. I cannot talk. All right, back to what I was saying here. Anyways, since I forgot what I was saying there, but keep those ideas coming. I got to get this going. I'm going to get this going to help the people that want help to get out of this matrix. I think about it now, man, you guys. I think about if I only knew to ask the right questions to get, I didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't know that not knowing how much debt I was in, how dangerous that was. You know what I'm saying? Just to walk around every day and not have a clue of how much debt I was in. That is, you guys have no idea how dangerous that is. That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous, you guys. And okay, my ideas are coming to me now. They're coming to me what I'm going to do for my webinars. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to make sure it's not complex as people in debt make. That's going to be the difference. I'm going to make sure it is not complex as people in debt make it seem. People in debt believe becoming a millionaire is a secret. People in debt believe you must know everything about the stock market, savings bonds, and CDs and all this nonsense. They really believe you need to know that to become rich. No, you don't. If you want to mess with that later, yeah, sure. But right now, you don't need to know about any of that. You're in debt. Once I help people in debt know they're in debt, they'll realize they have no money to invest in any of those things because they're in debt. That's the very reason why they don't understand how those things work, because they're in debt. They're trying to do those things while they're in debt. That's impossible. Hyphy says, stop texting Chase Bank loss prevention. I wanted to see what's up with my account that I didn't know existed. I wanted to see how much money was in there, Hyphy. You think I'm going to let that kind of money go? Hey, Chase, yeah, this is Mr. Young. Yeah, I was called prevention. Yeah, they said my account is compromised. I'm trying to figure out how much money I had in there because I want it transferred out of there. Let's see. As I'm thinking, let's say people need to know how much debt they're in. First, I must get somebody to realize they're in debt. No, those people are okay. These are the people that are going to come to me that already come to me. They're wandering around the debt matrix trying to figure out why something's wrong financially and they can't put their finger on it. Okay, cool. All right, then those people find me. They'll see my math. They hear my math and say, wow, his math makes sense. And then I'll say step number one is to know your exact amount of debt. That's it. And then I'll give you guys the steps on how to do that, which are simple. And then have not only a physical part to do and a psychological part. So this is what I'm thinking. The physical part, show you how to do this. This is do this, do that. This is how you add up your total debt. And now for the next month, I want you to walk around in your environment, go to work, talk to your family and friends, and I want you to say, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? I want you guys to see and feel, oh, that's awesome right there. Okay. And you tell me if this is cool. Does this sound cool, Hyphy and Cosmic Wisdom? Check this out. Step one, have them add up their total debt, right? Show them the steps how to do it, whatever, right? And then take that total debt number in their head and then have them ask their family and friends and cousins and coworkers, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? And when they all come back with a I don't know, or they guess, this will help them feel like the first step out of the debt matrix. So it will make them wonder, hey, wait a minute, why is that? And when it happens to them, they will think to themselves, how did LJ know that? Right? It'll be amazing to them. Like, oh my God, how do you know everybody I asked wouldn't have the answer? How did he know that? Right? It'll trigger them to say, how did he know that answer? But we know that answer because we know the majority of people are in debt. So that's how it just is, right? What you guys think about that? Wouldn't you think that would blow somebody's mind if, show them the steps on how to total up their debt and then do the psychological part and have their mind blown? I think that's amazing, honestly. That would blow my mind if somebody taught me how to do that. And then the psychological part of doing that, I'd have been like, holy crap, what? Oh, that's bad. That's badass right there. I like that. What would be step two? Let me see. After they do that, I guess it would be the steps to add up all their debt and stuff like that. I mean, not add up, but organize it all and the plan on how to do it. Sorry, guys, I'm just thinking this out loud. NC Big says, LJ, I understand what you're saying. I'm happy my kids won't deal with this feeling. Oh, no, your kids will never know what you're going through right now, NC Biggs. You'll pass this down through the generations. And believe it or not, maybe one or two of your kids might not listen and they might fall into the matrix. You're going to be like, oh, well, I told you not to do that. They're going to, like I said, if they fall into the matrix, they're going to fall in the matrix knowing what you told them and be like, damn, my dad told me that. NC Big, see how LJ got Hyphy's stamp of approval. LJ is the real deal. Oh yeah, man. It's a language. Trust me, we all speak the same language. We all say different things, but the core of it all, we all agree. All of us. Because we agree, we all believe in mathematics. That's it. That's what we agree upon. Hey, Hyphy, you believe in math? Yeah. Cosmic wisdom. You believe in math? Yeah. Okay, cool. We all speak the same language. Yes, that's the first step to understand your debts. Yeah, I was thinking that what do you think about them going around and asking that question and knowing everybody's going to say no? Wouldn't that blow your mind? To say, how did Linnell know everybody I asked wouldn't have an answer? That would blow my mind. Can't do a plan of attack without knowledge. Yeah, you can't, because you got to know, you got to even know what you're attacking. LJ's hashtag equal hashtag savings minus debt. Hyphy's hashtag it's a scam. Right. You better believe that's what I'm gonna be using. Every time I hear one, it's a scam. I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna do the mind blowing thing so they can see. It's like, what would be another good mind blowing one? Let me see for a beginner to experience. I guess step two would be to organize their debts. What I do, organize everybody's debts, okay? And what could be the psychological part of that? No, they would know people don't organize their debts. I got to think about that one. I like the first one though. The first one is nice. Papa T says, "Wish you had a book with that information." It's coming. It's coming, Papa T. This getting knowledge out of your head first. The first part, Papa T, is like I already told you. When you start your videos and stuff like that, you got to get people to trust you first, because you can You can write 50,000 books. If nobody trusts you, they're not going to buy them. So you must get people to trust you first. Because I see people jumping out, really trying to get ahead of themselves without reaching the trust of their followers or subscribers. Nobody's going to buy anything if they don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel says, my friend says I'm broke, that I don't want to put a down payment on a $30,000 car, and me buying a $4,000 car. I'm broke and have a broke mindset. That's what people in debt think. You just got to go, okay, well, it's like, and when I'm saying this, Gabriel, you can say, I mean, it'll never work, but you could say, hey, man, I can prove that you're wrong with mathematics. If you just stopped and said that to him, hey, you know what? I know what you just said, that I'm broke if I put this much down on a $30,000 car, but I can prove to you right now with mathematics that you're wrong and I'm right. They still won't hear you. Step 2, understand your monthly expenses to see how much money you can put against debt. Find ways to lower those expenses and put that money towards debt too. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I like that. I wonder if that would be in the same. No, that would be a separate package, because I would, because I teach people right now how to lower their insurance and their cell phone bill, cable bill, all that other stuff, right? But I need to help them put it in a way that they could see. What I've been doing right now is pointing things out yearly for people, Cosmic Wisdom, so they can see the price difference yearly. Because monthly, they don't really see the big change, right? I only save $50, right? But if I lay it out yearly, which will slowly get them off the monthly mentality to the yearly mentality, and they could see how much money they would save in a year if they just do this and these steps. And then at that moment, see the price difference, and say like there was a $1,000 difference or a $500 difference. I could say, now that's $500 or $1,000 more you could put towards your debt without really feeling like it, because you still have the same phone service. You're just paying a quarter of the price, and show them with numbers, of course. Black Knight says, people with money know the financial cost of everything they purchase, whether it is a vehicle or a house. You better believe it. And when people with money walk into a bank to get a mortgage for a house, they're not crossing their fingers hoping they're going to get the mortgage. Okay. They're just trying to determine if they're going to get the mortgage from that bank. The option of not getting it is not an option. When you understand money, you already know what you need to get approved for a mortgage. All right. You walking in, you're not guessing. You already know. You're like, oh, okay, I need 20, 25, 30% down. That was automatic anyway, right? Because it's already if you get a mortgage, you're already upset that you got to pay more for the house than what it's worth by getting a mortgage in the first place. So you want to get the least impact to your pocket as possible. How do you do that? Only accept the best mortgage on the market. There is nothing that a person with money will accept by having to get a mortgage even in the first place. You're definitely going to get only the best one on the market, or you just don't get it. You say, okay, and if they say, no, you can't get the best one, you say, what's preventing me from getting it? Oh, you need this, that, this, that. Okay, well, let me go get this, that, this, that. Now am I approved? Yeah, let's go. So I'm going to be I'm not going to make this complex. That's what I think when I've been thinking about my website and the webinars. I've been thinking a little too deep, a little too complex, and it really doesn't have to be that complex. What's drawing people to me of all ages is the simplicity of how I deliver it, how I help people, the simplicity. I want people to come here and say, man, and be amazed. No way it can be that easy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It really is that easy. Thank you guys for your help, man. You guys are really helping me out with some ideas today. I'm thinking about, You know, just like I said a minute ago, I was thinking too complex of what this should be, what should be the first video, the second video, whatever. I already know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know which one will be the intro video, and I know which one will be the second video. Any other anything? I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Any other things you guys could think of that you feel as if that's preventing you from getting out of debt? What else is there? It could be psychologically, it could be the environment you're in, it could be anything. There's many things that people believe what's causing them to preventing them from getting out of debt. You guys tell me. Free 30-minute consultation at savingsminusdebt.com. I'll help you get what you need. I'll help you get these steps. I can help you skip a lot of steps. A lot of steps. Let me know. Savingsminusdebt.com. Please don't forget to share my channel. I'd really appreciate it. You really don't even have to tell them my name, LJ Savings Minus. You just go, hey, Google hashtag savings minus debt. And this dude will change your life. Okay. They'll find me, subscribe to me. Savingsminusdebt.com is my website. Please don't forget to subscribe. There's my website. NC Big says, I think you covered mine. Cosmic Wisdom says, step 3, while people are paying off debt, work on the mindset. What do you want to do after debt to help people stay motivated along the way? Gotcha. I like that too. Yeah, because I gotta keep people motivated during the whole process, because it's so easy to fall off when they are being bombarded by people in debt with debt answers, debt suggestion, debt ideas constantly. Okay. Black Knight says, lack of family planning to get and keep people in debt. Yeah. Yes, it does. This is why they can get people to buy insurance so much. Hey man, cover your family for this and that. People in debt don't really understand this part, the psychological part behind it. Psychologically, people in debt know that they're in debt. Okay. They know they're in debt because they don't know how much debt they're in. So that's how they know they're in debt, right? So insurance people come along. I'm not saying not get insurance. I'm just saying, when I hear insurance companies say, hey, get this insurance policy, you can borrow against this policy. It's, that appeals to people in debt, that they can get them whatever, right? Anyway. And then they feel psychologically, since I didn't save any money, at least when I die, I can leave X amount of money to my family, right? But what people in debt don't really understand is that if you leave a larger sum of money to people in debt, they're going to treat it the same way. They're just going to, somebody in debt will take that large amount of money and believe that now they can afford larger payments. They can afford a larger mortgage. They can afford a larger car payment. They can afford a larger and just more payments in general. So the money is just going to be, it's not going to be passed along. It's not, because they don't understand money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the amount of money you give to a person in the debt matrix. It doesn't. You could give a person in the debt matrix $5 million. They still wouldn't do it right. Because you know why? They would have, in their mind, they have to show the world that they got $5 million by buying just outrageous cars, and they still wouldn't buy it cash. You think somebody that won $5 million would go buy a Lamborghini in cash? They'd be like, nah, how much is the payments? I don't want to spend that much of my $1 million. That's how people in debt matrix think. I'm not going to drop $300,000 on a car, even though they have it. They say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make some payments because I want to keep my money. Yeah, that's exactly what people in the debt matrix do. Have a large Lamborghini payment. Nicer says, I think the biggest factors have already been mentioned, especially people facing the fact that they have a consumer mindset. Yeah, that's a big one, man. That's the real psychological part. And those people, honestly, Nicer, I have accepted that I will not be able to help everybody. I will not be able to do that. I've accepted that. I understand that I'm only going to be a voice for those that are wandering around in the debt matrix that know something is wrong, but they can't put their finger on it. They have nobody to ask. They're grasping on the things and just cannot figure out, no matter how many raises they get, no matter how many degrees they get, that they believe that was supposed to catapult them with more and more money. They're going to like, man, this is just not making any sense. Those people will hear me. That are looking for the way out of something that they don't know they're in. They're trying to find their way out. Those people will hear me. Thank you, Nicer. Nicer says another dope live stream. I love seeing people brainstorm. Me too, man. I need you guys' help to grow this. I can't do this by myself, nor do I think I can do this by myself. I need help from everybody. I'm trying to change millions of people's mindset when it comes to money. Wow, that's good luck with that. Ivy says, one step should be adjusting your lifestyle to fit your financial limits. If you were in debt, you were living above your means. I think the first step to Hyphy, when they see how much debt they're in, and they really realize that if you're in debt, you're a slave. If they really feel that, because that's my ultimate goal, Hyphy, is to really help people understand that if they have debt, they're a slave. I mean, like literally. I think a person, if they realize like, damn, that's right, they're really going to stop automatically worrying about what everybody else thinks, and they'll do whatever it takes to get out of debt. I didn't know I was a slave, man. I didn't know I was a slave. Yes, that's what my friend said with the 30K car and said he wants his money. Yeah. I did not know I was a slave, you guys. I did not know I was a slave. When I think about it, man, I remember, here, I'm going to take you guys back with me. I remember when I was early 30s and I got this computer job. I started working for Seattle schools, right? Or was that earlier? Yeah, I was late 20s, early 30s, and I started working for the Seattle School District. And it was a cool job, right? And I was making probably about $50,000 at that time. And then I thought, okay, I need to make more. Because people in the debt matrix believe a goal is six figures. Somebody in the debt matrix makes people believe that if you make six figures, you making good money, right? That's just something that they say. I didn't know that, right? But that was my goal. So once I got to six figures, I remember like there's two things that happened. Okay. One, I thought once I got there, I should be feeling a certain way that hey, everybody said six figures, you make it, right? But it wasn't really a change. I was like, okay, now what, right? And then two, once I made it over a certain amount of money, my first paycheck was less than the one before. That at that point, and at the only point in my life, is when I said, wait a minute, I have to understand taxes and tax brackets. That's what made me do it, because I didn't know about taxes and tax brackets before that. But once I hit over the six-figure mark and my first check came back and it was less than the previous check, that didn't make any sense. Wait a minute, I make more money, but my check is less? That didn't make any sense. So I said, oh, okay, what was going on here? But at that point, that's when I took the time to understand, oh, wow, okay, I went over this and I'm supposed to do that. People don't know how to do that. So I'm going to keep it simple for people to understand how that works. Because nobody taught me that back then. Nobody really. And I remember I just couldn't put my freaking finger on it. I was just like, man, what is going on? I'm making more money, but I still feel like this pressure. It's a it's a pressure that sits on the middle of your forehead. Soon from when I woke up until when I went to sleep, it was just there, right? But I thought I gotta make a certain amount of money, or I gotta win the lottery, or I gotta come into a windfall of money or something that's gonna change this. No, no. All I had to do was just get out of debt. I didn't know that. It's just crazy to think back at that time in my life, and I was just it feels just like that, wandering around in the debt matrix trying to look and see what the answer is. I was trying MLMs, uh, higher education, this side MLM, that side. That's why MLMs are killing it. Hey man, you start your own business. It's like running out, whatever, right? It's just the dumbest thing. Anyway, and you're like, man, but every time I try this MLM, I'm going deeper in debt. Exactly, because that's not the answer. So crazy now. It's like it's so easy to figure out who is really successful in MLMs. Like right now, I'm going back and forth, but all you gotta do is ask to see that person's personal credit report. It will tell you if they're as successful as they're saying or portraying in the MLM. All you gotta do is say, "Hey, you making all this money? Yeah, let me see a personal credit report." It will show you if they're making all this money or not. It never lies. If you were able to see their personal credit report and they're deep in debt, and then you would turn to them and say, if you're making so much money, why are you so deep in debt? That doesn't make any sense. Back then, I didn't know to ask that question. I just went by their stuff. Oh, they got a nice car. Oh, they're a ruby, emerald, diamond, whatever, all that stupid nonsense that all the MLM structures are exactly the same, right? They do the exact same thing, rent out big places, and everybody gets pumped up and look at all the people on the stage. Hey, I got this, that. I came from rags to riches, and nobody verifies any of it. They don't say, hey, man, where those pictures come from? How do I know those are your pictures? How I know you just didn't Google that? You know what I'm saying? Nobody questions that. They just make people believe it's them and they're doing this. And I did it all. I did, but it was very different. When I got out of debt, I went to one of them seminars, one of them MLM gathering events when I was debt free. Oh, it's totally different. It's totally different. I swear to you, it seemed like they have people planted to say certain things to you when you walk in certain areas. I swear it was like this. I remember this one guy, he was talking to me about this particular MLM, right? And so he was supposedly one of the big people there. And so I remember meeting him at one of these events, and I'm walking in with him, and everybody's like, oh man, you're working with so and so. Oh man, you're in good hands, man. People try to work with him all the time. I was thinking, how many people are gonna come up to me and say that? Now you guys are, to me, I was like, you guys are overdoing it. And then all of a sudden, here's a 21-year-old multimillionaire that did the product. Then all of a sudden you get a 55, 60-year-old that just retired. It's like, you guys, come on. All right, that's enough. All right, stop. I just wanted to say that to them. Okay, that's enough. But they don't know I'm debt free. So they don't know I'm looking at it totally different. I'm not being fooled by anybody's when they start throwing out numbers, because with people in debt, they don't realize why they always throwing out these money numbers. Oh, this person's a millionaire. This person used to make this and now they're making that. And it's like, all you gotta do is listen to see how many times they say that to you, because they know you're in debt and you're wishing and hoping that can become you. That's how it works. You don't know the answer. Say, okay, you're a millionaire. Yeah, let me see a personal credit report. Prove it to me right now. Prove it to me right now. Log into your Credit Karma and show me that you're a millionaire. Show me. People in debt don't know to ask that question. They can say anything they want. They can say anything. It doesn't matter what they say. It's what they can show you. And somebody told me this information back then, man. Oh man. And it's so simple. That's what my this is what my thing is gonna be. Everything is gonna be simplicity. Hmm. I thank you guys for your help, man. This is really helping me out. This is helping a lot with these ideas. Cause I was overthinking. I was way overthinking. I was overthinking. Way overthinking. This is too simple. And the younger I get you guys to understand how this works, man, you're gonna thank me for the rest of your life. And I'm not even bragging. The reason why you're gonna thank me for the rest of your life, because you're gonna thank me for getting you to believe in mathematics. That's it. That's why I'm saying that. Because once you understand, you'd be like, all I had to do was just believe in mathematics. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nothing complex. No, not nothing. And then when you guys finally cross over and you walking around in this world again, it's going to be like you're in a whole different world, man. A whole entire different world. You're going to hear things that financial things that you're just not, it's just going to blow your brains. And you know what you're going to think to yourself? You're going to be like, oh my God, I used to say those things out loud in front of people. Oh man, it's going to blow you away. You're going to hear people say things, the most outrageous, non-mathematical sense things to you, and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, I did not hear that." Yes, you used to say that too. I did. Cosmic Wisdom says, "I do believe that people, as they pay down debt, learn about investments. No one should care more about your money than you, and if they do, watch out. It's a scam." You're right. That's like if they care, that is funny. If they care more about your money than you, it's a scam. Wow, that is well said. I like that. I like that. That is most definitely a phrase right there. If they care more about your money than you, it's a scam. Sure is. It's a scam. I'm gonna screenshot that. Screenshot. There we go. Bam. Hey Jennifer, have you run into any uh any mind blowing things now that you're free? Have you like listened in on a conversation or just somebody, it could be anybody, people just do this out in public anyway, they always say certain things. Have you come across any mind-blowing things that you've heard lately? I want to give people kind of an idea of what it's like you really do feel like you're walking around like Neo from the Matrix. You really do. You're gonna look at like CarMax car lots. You're gonna be like, damn, that's why they're so big. That's why you're going to look at CarMax. I mean, I'm just pointing out them because their car lots look like football fields, right? Have you noticed that CarMax car lots? When you're out of the debt matrix, you're going to see, oh, damn, that's why they're so big. They cater to people in debt. I mean, not financing a car, period. I mean, financing a car, period, is a very, very bad thing. But when you don't know that, I mean, when you don't know that, those people go to like CarMax and stuff like that. I mean, they got it together too. They got it going. They got it. I remember I walked into CarMax just to see what it's like, man. They got you, as soon as you walk in, they got some guy at the desk that's gonna ask your name, and then you just sit down. Then they take you out to you can't just walk around on their car lots, right? You got to come through this whole process. You coming on this car lot, you gonna go through the process. They gonna almost pretty much guarantee they gonna get you a car. So they probably run your credit as you're walking around the car lot just to get that process doing, just to get it going. So when you walk back in, they're good to go. What kind of loan they're gonna get you? And I don't know if this is a fact. I'm just saying this is just what it looks like. I don't know because I would never. I can only imagine the time it takes to go through that process, and I'm not willing to ever give up that much of my time for anything that I don't want to be at. You know what I'm saying? But today's video really, you guys really helped me today. You guys really helped me today. And without your help, this SMD family, you know, Nicer came up with the name SMD Familia, family. Without this, this couldn't be born. This couldn't continue to grow without you guys' help. This is not a very popular subject. It's not sexy. It's not gossipy. You know, that's why I knew I had an uphill battle. But I know on the other side of it, I now understand what freedom feels like, financial freedom. And it's not even complex to know. I know what it's like. This is why every bit of it's worth it. And this is why I've sacrificed everything to build it, to build something that I didn't even know if it was going to be successful or not. I still don't know. And when I say successful, I mean like, well, I don't want anybody to deem success a certain thing like, oh, I'm successful once I reach Dave Ramsey's level. No, success in my mind is the more and more people I help. The more lives I'm helped changing for the better. Even if you become my client or not, really doesn't matter. As long as you learn from what I'm teaching you, that's all good. And you can come back a year or two later. Hey man, check it out. I'm debt free because of you. All right, cool. Thank you. That person didn't spend a dime with me, but as long as they tell me, that's all I need. You know, some people just it's weird to get on the phone with a client and they're like, oh man, it's like it's you on the phone. You know, it's like, oh, I'm just Linnell. I'm just a regular person. You know, that's a weird feeling when I get people like that sometimes. You know, like, oh, it's really you. It's like, well, I'm just me. But I acknowledge that because I'm changing somebody's life. I'm changing. So I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying humbly, it just seems like, no, I'm just me. I know that ain't nicer. That's why I took a snapshot of what Cosmic Wisdom said. I like that. That's what I'm gonna do. Now I gotta make sure I tag every video, put it's a scam in there. So anytime somebody does a hashtag, they'll know where to find the videos. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna make that a standard tag in the back end of every video. So if that does go rampant, they'll know who to tag. I mean, they'll know who to come to on Google. I don't know. Have you Googled that? Is a scam right now? See what pops up. Anything pop up? Let me see. Google is a hashtag. It's a scam. I see a couple of tags on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Uh-oh, we got some competition. Yeah, that's looked like almost like a common tag. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up in about 10 minutes. If you guys have any more ideas or questions, we can go ahead and get those answered right now. But you guys pretty much have helped me with what I need for the next steps of making this 2020. I've already determined in my head 2020 is the year whatever next step phase is going to happen. That's a good idea. But it is a popular tag. I didn't realize how popular it is. So any more questions? Any more ideas? NC Big says, LJ, that's a fact on the dealership topic. They want your social security and idea of the payments you want so they can tell what cars you can have and where your payments can be. Yeah. I've been trained this. Yeah. See what I'm saying, NC Briggs? And you know what's crazy? This is what I want you to see, NC Briggs. This is what I'm glad you said that because of this. I don't know anything about the dealership sale of cars. I don't know anything about that. As a debt-free person, walking in I walked in to the CarMax, and right there's a desk. So I'm debt-free. This is just what I think. Oh, okay. You don't even let me come in without getting some information right away. And then I'm sure they call some salesmen around after they get all this social security number, and they running all this stuff while you're looking at the cars. It's crazy how it's set up. It's set up nice. It's set up nice. And see how I could see that, NC Briggs, and I'm not even a car dealership person. I can see that because I'm not in debt. I forgot the reason why I walked up in there. I totally forgot why I did that. I did that for a reason, for something. Because I knew you can't just get out your car and go walk around the car lot. They don't even let you do that like traditional dealerships. You don't even get to do that. But when I walked in there, I was like, oh, hell, sir, what's your name? I was like, no, thanks. I'm out of here. That's funny. It's so obvious when you're out of debt. It's so obvious. They'll know right away. They know right away why they've cut down on the time. If they do that, that means they just take you to the cars you can afford. No need for you to get in, look around, and test drive a car you can't even afford. You might as well not even worry about that. They just bypass that whole process. Damn, man, that's crazy. Did they do you guys did they get commission for every car they sell like CarMax? LJ, you can, but they like you to give info. Yeah, I bet you they do. I bet you they do. Mm. But it's just business. I'm not hating on CarMax. I think they got a wonderful business plan. The way they have the sheeple just coming in there and just signing their life away for 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 years to a car. It's like I imagine like a factory, like of cows coming in, and then on the other end they come out in a car. It's just like just imagine a factory just coming in, sheeple coming in to get slaughtered, to get their finances slaughtered. They just walk on in and they just put the bait in the back, and the sheep will just walk in and say, and the bait is the car. They're just, sheep, bah. I said cows, but bah. And then they're coming to get their finances slaughtered by tying themselves to a depreciating object with interest for the next 8 to 10 years. Yes, they do. No matter the car, it's a flat fee on commission. Again, I'm not hating on any business, any legal business. Let me tell you guys something. Any legal business, I'm not hating on it. Even online installment loans, I'm not hating on those people. If they're doing it legally, they're doing what they're supposed to be. They're doing what they're doing to create a business. If it's legal, doesn't matter. Oh man, these payday loan places are ripping people off. No, they're not. They're not ripping me off. All these banks are they're going crazy with these overdraft fees. I've never got an overdraft fee. They're not making any money off of me. These overdraft fees are outrageous. To who? Not me. These interest rates are crazy on these credit cards. Well, for who? I don't care the interest rate of any credit card because I'm not paying it. So who cares what it is? See what I'm saying? See you later, nicer. I don't know. It's just crazy. But anyway, trying to get this channel out. And I thank you guys for your help. If you guys been getting me out there, helping me get out there, try to get on some other collaborations on YouTube Live, some financial channels. Trying to do some more collaborations with some people, with some bigger, some bigger people that are just talking about finances. I know it's a boring subject, so it's probably going to be very difficult, but I need to get on people's channels that are trying to diversify their channel, just not gossip. They want to, spit some financial knowledge that's going to help some people. You know what I'm saying? Willie, I enjoy the stream always, she says. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this up. It's going on 2 hours, 1 minute, 57. 1 hour, 57 minutes. All right, we've got about 3 minutes. If anybody has a last minute question or suggestion. Gabriel says, be weird or be broke. Yeah. You don't even have to be weird. You can just, trust me, you can look just like everybody else. You don't have to, you don't have to stand out. NC Big says, I have one ill email. I have one ill email. Can you rewrite that for me, NC Biggs? I'm not sure what you're saying. Then we're going to wrap this up 2 hours even. See you later, Gabriel. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. Trying to get the word out there that they don't have to live in debt. Thank you, everyone, for your suggestions, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Oh, okay. You said your email. Okay, cool. Oh, gotcha. You have a channel. I'll email you. Okay, cool. Yeah, do that for me. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, okay? All right, bye-bye.